Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Finlay Field on the campus of Roseburg High School in beautiful, well, from what we can see, beautiful Roseburg, Oregon. Tonight we get ready for Roseburg hosting South Salem in a South Central Football Conference matchup here tonight. That is how I've been hearing the conference referred to by the folks out of Medford at the Mail Tribune, so I'm sticking with that. I like it. It's much better than Special District 1. But as we come on the airwaves with you live here at the field tonight, it's a question mark here this evening. We are waiting to see if things clear up enough for us to be able to play some high school football tonight here in Roseburg. The air quality index not in our favor at last check, and it updates every hour at the top of the hour. And back at 6 o'clock, we were still above the allowable limit for the air pollution. With the AQI index, you've got to be at 150 or below. And we were at 155 or maybe slightly higher, depending on which one you're looking at, but it was not in our favor no matter which gauge you're looking at. So the scoreboard clock isn't even on. The countdown to kickoff has not started. We are hoping that we will find out good news at 7 o'clock to see if we will be able to play tonight's game. So stay tuned. We're going to keep it right here through your Roseburg Disposal pregame show. We'll bring in Carter Stedman here in just a little bit and talk with him. It's been homecoming week at Roseburg High School. We'll find out how that's been going from the student perspective. And we'll just get ready for this matchup and hope that it's going to play tonight. It is homecoming night for Roseburg, so we will keep our fingers crossed that all of those homecoming activities will get a chance to go on as scheduled. But right now, not really sure if that will be the case. So here we go. We play the waiting game. We would like to be playing a football game, but we're playing the waiting game instead to see how things work out for us here tonight. So we'll keep you updated on that. Coming up here during the Roseburg Disposal pregame show, we'll also get a chance to catch up with some of the other stuff going on around the Umpqua Basin. You just heard us run through the schedule of games going on tonight around the Umpqua Basin as we were doing the Friday night pregame show. But now games are starting to kick off. We'll see if we can get some score updates on other games going on, and we'll also pass along some finals from some small school games that got started earlier here this afternoon. We'll get those scores to you as well. So we'll kind of just fill some time here. If things get going a little bit too long, we might send the radio station back to CBS Sports to help us fill some of that time. We'll see if it could be close to 8 o'clock by the time we kick this one off tonight. So it's going to be maybe a little bit of a waiting game. We will find out. Russ Bolin is out there talking right now with the athletic director. That is Brian Armstrong from South Salem. They're over there talking right now. They've been in communication all throughout the afternoon. I've been here since 5 o'clock, and it kind of got a little worse at 6, but it kind of was bad at 5, got slightly better at 6. So we're hoping that's a trend in the right direction for us here at Roseburg High School. So as it stands right now, we're in a holding pattern, have not had any of the teams out on the field as of yet. I look like Roseburg was doing some warm-up activities in the gym earlier. We can see the gym lit up across the way from us here at Roseburg High School. South Salem has had some of their guys out on the field doing some stretching and some light kind of movement around out on the field, but they were still in sweatpants as of last time we saw them out here on the field. So here we go. It's another Friday night where we're not exactly sure how this one plays out, and we will keep you updated as best as we can. We'll go ahead and take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we will bring in Carter Stedman to have a quick conversation. Well, actually, it may not be quick. We'll have a conversation here on the radio with you tonight as we'll talk a little bit about what's been going on campus this week for Roseburg High School with homecoming going on, and we'll see what other kind of things that we can talk about. There's plenty to discuss, and Carter will be joining us here on the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Again, you can let them make the run of the dump for you. Give Roseburg Disposal a call at 673-7122. Do want to remind you before we take the quick break that you can watch tonight's football game as long as it is played, streaming live online at 541radio.com. You can head there and watch it, or you can go to our YouTube channel, search 1490 The Score. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe to follow Roseburg High Sports throughout the school year. It's all presented by the Cow Creek Tribe. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back with more from Roseburg High School on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Back with more of the Roseburg Disposal pregame show here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Here on a Friday night, we are still waiting to see what happens. Roseburg has brought out a couple of guys onto the field as we bring you the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. But I really think the only one out there on the field that is probably playing tonight is James Coleman. He is practicing his long snapping for PATs and field goals. So he's the only one that is kind of dressed down to actually be playing tonight. He's got his pants on, but no jersey or pads on the top half. So that's at least a positive thing. Roseburg is preparing as if this game will get played, but we are waiting to find out what the levels look like at 7 o'clock. When that happens, we will have a better idea of what's in store for us here tonight. Joining us now in the pregame show, it's our fall intern here at the radio station. You've heard him bringing you Carter's Corner on the Friday night pregame show, and he's been here in the booth with us at the football games the last couple of weeks as well. Carter Stedman, a senior at Roseburg High School, joins us. Carter, good evening. Happy Friday to you. Not the way that we were hoping this Friday would kick off here, but it is homecoming week. How have things been on campus?
Things have been great. You know, homecoming week is always special, and fortunately this year it's kind of we've been able to get back to normal.
Yeah.
With COVID, happening the last couple of years, but it's been great. The student, just the energy of everyone across the school. We've had a lot of school spirit days, and had an assembly today and was able to bring the whole school together. So it's been great. Hopefully we're able to watch the game tonight and then have the dance tomorrow evening. So.
Okay, I was going to say, when's the dance? Tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay, where do you guys do the dance at? Just in the gym?
It's in the cafeteria. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Last year was outside, and it was raining, and we had to wear a mask, so it wasn't the most enjoyable experience. So looking forward to it this
Like
year.
you said, it's kind of nice to start getting back to some of the normal stuff that you expect when you are a high schooler. So this week, a lot of festivities going on for homecoming. I think it was Wednesday night, Powder Puff.
Yes.
Seniors, did they get the win?
Yeah,
I think
the
I
seniors
saw?
took the win, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that
All
was
right.
good to see.
It, I think many people tuning in can probably remember what it was like to be in high school during homecoming week. You've been having fun, making memories of it all?
Yeah, it's been good. I've been able to meet some new people, just kind of being back in the groove of things, and just trying to expand my horizon, and just trying to make the most out of it. You only go through high school one time, so just trying to make the most and enjoy everything. And like we mentioned earlier, it's definitely been a unique experience for our class, so just trying to take everything in for what it is and just trying to have a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Class of 2023 this year. Trying to keep track of it all. Getting a chance to try and get back in. So let's see. For you, so 2023, so 2019 was start of freshman year. That would have been your freshman year, 2020, 2021. No, that would have been the fall of 2019 was when you started it as a. So that means that the spring of 2020, right? Am I getting that right? So your freshman year was when the pandemic hit.
Yep, it was.
That's crazy to think.
Week before spring break. Yeah.
That is the weirdest thing to me. And people, this is what you're going to get in our extended pregame here is just probably a lot of Joey thinking off the top of his head. That is really crazy to me because it doesn't. I mean, I know we're thankfully getting out of a lot of this pandemic stuff, and life is starting to look more normal for a lot of folks. But that's crazy to think that all started when you were a freshman in high school.
Yeah, it is definitely crazy to think about. And it was just weird because as a sophomore, we didn't really know what was going to happen with sports. I mean, we were playing basketball games right before the 4th of July, which is a little awkward,
right.
when games are getting canceled due to the heat being too high in the gym.
Yeah.
And then even last year still had effects. The basketball team wasn't able to have full capacity for a lot of their games for the first half of the year. And so finally we saw things kind of start to open up and get back to normal. And so this year's kind of, in a way, it's our first full normal year without having any sort of worries or, anything to be concerned about regarding health, at least. And so it's been nice. And then being able to see younger people that when I was starting high school were in 5th, 6th grade, and now they're on campus and, asking questions.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, well, I don't even know the answer because I haven't been here for.
Because 2 of my 4 years here were really screwed up. That's for 2.5, probably closer to that. But, that kind of puts it all into perspective, all of this. That's really crazy and kind of crazy to think back on how that all has gone down. We are waiting to find out if Roseburg football will play tonight. We are probably – the reports are done kind of close to the top of the hour each hour, and we don't normally get them for maybe 5-10 minutes after the top of the hour. So we'll be frantically hitting refresh at 7 o'clock to find out what we can. And we'll see where we go from there. But right now we're just killing a little bit of time here during our extended Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Fall sports getting into the final month here of the regular season. Now, Carter, you've been here for a few of the games. I know you've been paying attention. You got friends and a lot of folks on the football team that you're close with. I mean, it's not a season that anybody wanted to go through. And I know even you're a basketball player. The basketball team in your time has had some lean years in there where winning was not as easy as everybody wants it to be. How do you feel just kind of being on campus? Is there – I think the momentum of last year got some guys excited about coming out this year. We see some of the seniors come back after a year off, and so that was awesome. You hope a season like this doesn't derail some of the excitement about guys getting out there working hard and playing football. What are you kind of seeing on campus?
Well, I think just being around a lot of the guys throughout school and whatnot. Obviously, a lot of guys banged up, crutches, boots, all of that, which I think is really kind of put a shadow over the season because, like you mentioned, with guys coming back out such as Boston Williams, Jace Wilder, Jordan White, there's enough talent on the field, I think, to compete with majority of the teams in the conference. But when you have your starting quarterback go out in the first home game, and then that kind of just had a domino effect. You got all sorts of receivers going out, and so it's hard to kind of build momentum and find a rhythm as a team. And so even talking to him this week, it was hard to even get guys to fill in 11 on 11 and just try and get looks through a play. So when you have that, I think it's hard to try and, find your rhythm and your role. But the guys have done a good job, I think, of just trying to, bring a fresh mindset every week and just take it one game at a time and just kind of control what they can control. Yeah,
exactly. That's kind of all you can do is show up each week and try hard and see what's going to happen. I can see down there on the field, you've got the athletic directors for both schools, Russ Bolin and Brian Armstrong. They're both looking at their phones. Maybe a little early to start getting the update for 7 o'clock, but they may be communicating with others about some of the other stuff they're just trying to figure out, whether it be where do we try and play tomorrow if we get a chance to do it? Can we get officials for tomorrow if we've got to push it to tomorrow? And, the other question of, can we push it to tomorrow? I mean, do these two teams, can we figure out all the intricacies of planning a second trip down to Roseburg for Salem? Or do they try to find a place to stay in town tonight? That could also be a question on the mind. I don't know. It's probably cheaper to drive home and drive back from Salem back down here. 71 degrees right now. We hit it high as 79. We are waiting to find out if the game will get played tonight because the air quality has not been great. The sun is starting to go down. The lights are taking an effect here at the field, the stadium lights. And, when the sun was up, Carter, I didn't really feel like it was that smoky at the field. But now that the lights are on and you're shining down on the field directly, you can kind of tell that it's still definitely a haze hanging over Finlay Field. You look out to our right, which is out west to the Callahans, where you can see the outline of the hills, and you see that soft pink hue as the sun's going down, but the sun is fighting through a lot of pollutants in the air right now, and that's why we're waiting to find this out. But I don't know. Neither of us have ever been through something quite like this. You mentioned games getting canceled because it's too hot in the gym because you're playing in the summer, basically, a couple of years ago. Neither of us have gone through a time where you're sitting on your hands waiting to find out whether or not you're going to play a football game because of the air quality. But I got to imagine they're sitting in there getting super antsy in the locker room.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to, stay patient there and, stay locked in, especially when the game's getting pushed back hour and a half, and even then you don't know if you're going to play.
Yeah.
But the weather's definitely been unique this year. Usually we kind of see stuff like this, later in the summer, early fall. Because even looking back to the first home game against Nelson, that had, problems regarding smoke as the game got canceled at halftime. So, definitely not what you want to see, but we're just hoping things can clear up and we can get after it.
I will say this, we broadcast football and basketball and baseball on the radio, and I got a chance. I was down on the field for a little bit at one point, happened to run into baseball coaches, Tim Sester and Troy Thompson down there, and those guys were joking with me. Oh, boy, what's it? Who would have thought, sitting here waiting to find out, will we play, will we, won't we, that whole question. Yeah, baseball and softball coaches, they've kind of been through this drill a few times in the spring in Oregon. Spring sports can be tough when it comes to baseball and softball. So, boy, we've all been there. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll keep our fingers crossed so we're getting good news here as we get to the top of the hour. Before we take that 2-minute timeout, let's go ahead and quickly get in a legal ID. We're hoping we'll be bringing you Roseburg football tonight here on The Score. All right, back here at Finlay.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Remember the good old days? When you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller. When businesses were local and gave back to the community. At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
Well, it is 7:02. Start frantically hitting those refresh buttons and still reading the 6 o'clock reading. Not sure if they've gotten anything over there on the far sideline with Russ Bullen surrounded by a few other folks as they try to come to a decision on what to do here tonight. I think everybody is waiting to see what it's going to look like when it updates for the 7 o'clock update. Joey Keyran here during the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Joining me is Carter Stedman as we get ready, hopefully, for some Roseburg football tonight. If the signs are pointing towards good stuff here at 7, we probably kick off 7:45, 8 o'clock is my guess, somewhere in that range, which means we'll figure out what we're doing between now and then if that is the case. But we'll keep you updated on what's going on here as we get the information. But let's go ahead and take a look at just some of the information that we've got on other stuff going on around the Umpqua Basin here tonight. Carter's got a few score updates to pass along, and we can take a look at what's going on throughout the rest of the schedule here this evening as well.
Alrighty, Joey, thank you. So looking at 1A 6-man ball in a top 10 matchup, number 3 Powers took down number 10 ranked Glendale 59-12. Gilchrist was able to catch the win over Days Creek 27-12. In the first half, Sutherland leads 21-20 over Phoenix. Coquille is on the road taking on highly ranked South Umpqua tonight at 7. You can listen live to that game as well. Douglas is on the road at North Valley. Glide, who we were able to talk to running back Todd Christenberry this week, is on the road at Rogue River. That could be a good matchup there. North Douglas / Yoncalla is on the road at Oakland tonight. Glendale took on Powers at 3 p.m. this afternoon, as well as Gilchrist taking on Days Creek at 3. We already covered that game. North Lake took a trip to Riddle, and they are supposed to kick off at 7 as well. And then to wrap it up, Elkton is on the road at McKenzie with a 7 p.m. kickoff.
All right, thank you, Carter Stedman, running through our scores here this evening. If you've got scores, you can report them to us here. That might help us fill a little bit of games or a little bit of our pregame going on here. I did talk. You mentioned that South Umpqua game is streaming live. I talked with Kenny Sherman, who broadcasts that game for DouglasCountySportsOnline.com. Kenny said as soon as he went over Roberts Mountain heading south to Tri-City, he said he felt like it was worse than it was in Roseburg. So according to the reports he was getting from folks down in Tri-City when he got down there, they were saying that it's been socked in down there for probably 5:30-ish, somewhere around there. I was just looking. It looked like I think Coach Heiberger just walked out there to the stripe where they snapped the PATs from, and he was messing around with footballs. I was going to say if he's picking them up, then I don't think that's a good sign, but he let them be. He just readjusted them there. So Kenny Sherman was down there. That is a game that if they are playing, you can find it on DouglasCountySportsOnline.com as Kenny does that one, but he wasn't all that optimistic about what's happening down in Tri-City for the Lancers tonight as well. Still waiting to find out here on whether or not we will play tonight. 7:05 is our current time, and we are just waiting for the latest update on airnow.gov, the official DEQ website that has the readings there, and I think that is the official website they go off of. So I think everybody's, Carter, I'm watching Coach Heiberger out there. I think he's just burning off anxiety, anxious energy as he's waiting to find out what's going to happen. Just go out there and make sure all the footballs are straight as he waits to find out what he's going to tell his team here tonight. I talked with South Salem head coach Scott Dufault yesterday. He was down here for the freshman game, and yesterday did find out that the Roseburg freshmen won. You were here for that. Your brother is playing on that team. 30-12 final score in that one, the Roseburg freshmen getting a victory. I got worried that they weren't going to play. It looked like it got bad yesterday. I was here just before that game got started to talk to Coach Defoe, and then I went to North 40. We did our ticket giveaway last night, and then as I was driving back by the high school a little after 6, I thought, boy, it just looks miserable, but good to hear that they finished their game last night. How'd they look? You were here for that game.
They did look pretty good. A little bit of a rough start, but like you mentioned, my little brother is on the team. He had a solid game. He did fumble the opening kickoff, which was not a good start, but after that, he was able to find the end zone. It was a good game, but it was fun to watch. It's always nice to see the young talent that's going to come through the program and be able to develop here for the next 3 or 4 years, and so. They were able to win 30-12 and able to get the dub, so they look pretty good.
Cool. That's good. What position does your brother play?
Receiver, and then he's also the kick returner as well.
Gotcha. All right. We'll look forward to seeing the younger Stedman out there on the field here as his high school tenure gets underway. But, yesterday I stopped by and I talked with Coach Dufault for South Salem, and let's see here. I keep getting distracted by text messages waiting to find out if Russ Bolin texts me something about tonight's game. Haven't gotten any updates on what we're going to be doing here tonight just yet. But I talked with Coach Defoe, and one of the things he brought up, and at the time, before kickoff to that freshman game, things were looking pretty good here in Roseburg. And he said, we drove through Cottage Grove, and it was brutal. You couldn't hardly see. And then they got down here, and he said, this is great. We were a little worried, but he's like, I was a little worried about what tomorrow is going to look like, referring to tonight's varsity game, and he was worried about the freshman game. Well, it seemed like at the start of the game, his concerns were eased. I'm sure by the end of that game, he was a little bit worried, and then, of course, tonight happens, and that's where we sit on things right now. Everybody's still huddled over there waiting to find out what is going to happen with tonight's football game. Joey Kieran and Carter Stedman with you. We are filling time until we know what we're doing, what our directions are. Tonight's game is sponsored by, or Roseburg High Sports, I should say, on the score, is sponsored by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. By DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. By Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. And by Abby's Legendary Pizza, a legendary pizza tradition. So we are still just waiting. No updates yet on the airnow.gov website. And we'll just keep checking. Yeah, still 6 o'clock, the last update. So like I said, it usually takes anywhere 5, 10, 15 minutes for that website to officially update. And there we go. We got any college football? Like seriously, we're going to just be grasping at everything we can talk about on the radio tonight. We do have Major League Baseball playoffs going on tonight. And right now the game that is live is San Diego and the Los Angeles Dodgers. If you are DVRing it, I don't know if people do this anymore, tape games and then try to watch them back without finding out the score updates. I imagine it has to be extremely difficult to do in this new digital age, but back in the day, that was the way you did it.
Yeah, now I know a couple people that still do that.
Yeah.
Now there's things like YouTube TV where the games, as soon as they're done, you can just go back and watch them.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but I mean, yeah, I know a few people that still record stuff. It's not too out of style yet.
I mean, recording shows and whatnot, it's easy enough to do, but we'll see. So right now, just in case, if you are waiting to find out what's going on with the Dodgers and the Padres, maybe tune off your ears here a second. They are in the top of the 4th inning. It is San Diego leading the Dodgers 1-0. Earlier today in extra innings, it was the Cleveland Guardians winning 4-2 against the New York Yankees. The Guardians scoring twice in the top of the 10th inning and holding off the Yankees in the bottom of the 10th for the win. And also final from the National League, it was the Phillies defeating the Braves 9-1 in Philadelphia, and that gives the 8-seed Phillies the 2-1 advantage in that series. Got some college football going on?
Yeah, earlier on today, SMU was taking on Navy.
Okay.
In a matchup there down in Texas. Navy's always a unique team to watch with their triple option offense. But it was 10-0 SMU last time I checked, but that was
26-14. It looks like the score right now. SMU is still leading against Navy. University of Texas San Antonio is leading Florida International 17-3. No top 25 games on the schedule here tonight. So that's a look at college football. Coming up tomorrow, speaking of college football, tomorrow we will have Oregon State football for you here on The Score. The Beavers are taking on Washington State. They kick off at 6 o'clock. Pregame coverage will start at 4 o'clock right here on The Score. Tune in for Mike Parker and the gang as they bring you coverage of Beavers football. The Oregon Ducks are on a bye this week, so no Ducks on our news partner, News Radio 93.9 FM and 1240 KQEN, but you can catch the Ducks next week when they host UCLA in a top 15 showdown. That will be a big-time matchup in the Pac-12, and that should be a good one there to get a chance to see. We talked about ticket giveaways yesterday over at North 40. Coming up next week, you're going to want to make sure you're there. Those tickets to that game between Oregon and UCLA that will be given away. Plus, we're giving away tickets to go see Colorado and Oregon State in Corvallis as well next Thursday. So come join us at North 40 from 5 till 6 next Thursday night as we give away tickets to both Ducks and Beavers football games. Still sitting on the 6 o'clock update. Coach Heiberger was out there, talked with the athletic director. He's now walking back towards the locker room, so I don't know if they gave him any indication on anything yet or if he's just heading back that way. It looks like most of the Roseburg coaching staff was out here out of the locker room, walking around on the field, checking everything out. South Salem does have some players out on the field. Looks like their quarterback is out there. Dashel Smith is out there throwing the football around. Did get another score update. Found out they are playing down in Tri-City, which is crazy to think that maybe there's that much of a difference, but they are playing down in Tri-City. And early going in that one, the update I got was 6-0 Coquille leading South Umpqua in that matchup there. The other one that I'm kind of curious to find out if anybody's got any score updates from Oakland, that would be pretty cool. I know the Okers were scheduled to take on North Douglas-Yoncalla tonight, so it'd be cool to find out if they are getting a chance to play up in Oakland as that game is getting underway. So we'll continue to update you on things here. Let's go ahead and we're going to probably play a lot of commercials tonight if we actually do have a full game for you coming up. So let's go ahead and take another 2-minute timeout. We'll come back and hopefully we'll have some more information for you as this is your Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Back after the 2-minute break on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to, by hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.
Well, we welcome you back here to Finlay Field, and I just got the update on my phone of what the latest reading is, and it did not change from 6 till 5. We are at 155 according to airnow.gov. The limit is 150. Once you go over 150, according to the OSAA, you are not allowed to play. Now, the athletic directors were talking if it trended in the right direction, getting close to that 150 mark by this point when we got this latest update, they would continue going forward as if hoping that the trend would continue by 8 o'clock. They would keep planning for an 8 o'clock kickoff if the trend was going in the right direction here at the 7 o'clock update. And then at 8 o'clock, they would check it before they kick off, find out if they can play, and hopefully see that happen. But we had no change. It stayed exactly where it was from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and now I think the conversation is happening down there. What do we do next? Coach Heiberger, Coach Dufault, athletic directors Russ Bolin and Brian Armstrong, they're all down there in a huddle. I think also Roseburg Public School Superintendent Jared Corden. I always mix him up with the late night show host. He's got the same kind of a name. I think it's Jared. I never remember his first name. I always get it wrong and then have to get corrected. I apologize, Superintendent Corden. But they're all down there discussing, and I think now, based off kind of how this is looking, my guess is they are trying to come up with a plan. Are we playing? Can we wait another hour to figure it out? Do we reschedule for tomorrow? So, folks, it's not – I don't feel as if it's looking positive as it looks right now. So that's just me reading body language. That's all I can tell you is what I'm seeing right now. Real quick, want to let you know tonight's game is brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. By Flyaway Travel, contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Give them a call at 672-5701. By Evergreen Family Medicine, serving residents of Roseburg and Myrtle Creek with 40 providers and adding coverage in Sutherland by April of 2023. By Tim's Appliance and Mattress at the corner of Lane and South Stevens in Roseburg, 0% financing is always available. And by B&D Meats, located in Winston. Those are just some of the sponsors that help make this possible. And, of course, we are streaming still at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. The live video stream of Roseburg High Sports this fall, brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. Based just off of the inaction of everybody on the sideline, I think we're trying to figure out what we're doing next. I think it wasn't the news we were hoping for, and we're trying to figure it out on how we proceed going forward. So that is the unfortunate situation I think we find ourselves in. So we will stay on the air long enough to pass along any information or call a football game here tonight and let you know. Coach Heiberger is leaving the field, though. He's headed back to the locker room. So close to being able to play this game tonight, and I think I'm just reading the body language, so I'm just guessing right now. And again, we will pass along official word once we get it, but it does feel like things are not going the way we wanted them to. And that means that, Carter, you could tell me, but you were going to spend homecoming football game up here with me in the booth, so I guess there's that. But it does kind of spoil a little bit about homecoming here tonight.
Yeah, it's always nice to cap off the week with a football game. Last year we were a little spoiled with the Sheldon game, unfortunately. Came away with the loss there, but it was still a great night. And football game, it's just a tradition, being able to cap off the week on a Friday night. So if we're unable to play, it's definitely unfortunate. But it's been a good week, We've had a lot of school spirit, like I said, activities at lunch. Another thing that's unfortunate if we're unable to play tonight is that the homecoming queen was expected to be announced at halftime.
Okay.
We have a couple girls on the volleyball team. I believe Kinsey Brillage and Kennedy Hines were on there, so would have been an exciting night for them and the rest of the girls. So it will be interesting to see how that plays out. So
you're up here with me. You're not on the homecoming court this year?
No, I didn't make it.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
You can still grow up to be a functioning adult, let me tell you. That's, hopefully that homecoming events, hopefully we can figure it all out to whether they're playing it tonight or if they're doing it tomorrow or whenever that may happen. I mean, you want those memories. I mean, when I was driving in and look, a Friday night off, the thought of having a Friday night off did cross my mind when we got here, but then I started thinking about it and it's homecoming, and I felt sad that this was a possibility where we could find ourselves with the fact that homecoming was supposed to be going on, and those are big memories from your high school years, and so you definitely want to be able to have them, especially for your senior group that has had a lot of disruptions when it comes to these kind of things in the past. This is the unfortunate situation we are in. Looks like some of the players for South Salem, I was going to say South Umpqua, the ones that were out getting kind of loose, they're still out there, but no longer throwing a football around, and there's still a lot of conversations happening over there. It looks like everybody's separating, so they may be figuring it out. I'm going to send Russ a text now that it seems like he might have a moment. So, did get a score update on that South Umpqua game. They are getting a chance to play down in Tri-City. And with 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter, it is 16-6. South Umpqua is now in front. That was a quick turnaround in that one. First quarter, they've been able to put 16 points on the board unanswered. So, looks like everybody down there discussing. And it looks like, those are the referees that are all down there talking with Russ as well. So my guess is he's talking about, can you guys all come back tomorrow? And again, I'm speculating a lot here, trying to figure this out. And I know Russ is busy with everybody looking for information from him. So I will give him space and not demand that he gives me any information. But this is also not a great sign. It looks like they're picking up the footballs. So, what a bummer. Hopefully we'll get a chance to get this one in. But, yeah, South Salem is all except for one. They've picked up their footballs on their side, and now Coach Springer is out there picking up footballs for Roseburg. And so this is unfortunately not going to be the news we were hoping for. So, yeah, Carter, I don't know. You feeling the same way? It feels like this one's not playing tonight?
Yeah, just based off kind of the mannerisms of some of the guys down there and, picking up the footballs. Kind of looks like people are starting to filter out a little bit. So definitely not something you want to see. But, for our class, it wouldn't be anything new for something to be canceled.
You guys have learned how to roll with the punches, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been through the trenches a little bit. It's definitely been unique, a year and a half of school over computer. And then, last year homecoming, it was seriously probably 60 degrees and light showers.
It actually felt like fall rather than this late summer we're getting here.
Not any smoke, just, some rain. But, yeah, you never want to see something like this, especially on a night that had a lot of, momentum going into it just from the rest of the week.
A lot of anticipation, for sure. Definitely. Hopefully, my guess is we try tomorrow. That's my expectation, but based off everything going on, it looks like we are not playing tonight. And so now just waiting to find out what the plans are going forward. And again, I'm sure Russ has got all sorts of folks asking him the questions on what exactly to do, and he's got a lot of pieces to try and put together. So, yeah, they're picking up the pylons on the goalpost on the end zone. So, yeah, not what we were hoping for here tonight. So, there you go. I'm going to say unofficially, don't expect to have a high school football game here on the score tonight. It looks like. And Carter, maybe you can run down to the booth 2 doors down, the big booth down there, and see if they might have any information, and maybe you can bring that back to us at I don't want to hassle Russ too much. I know he's got a lot on his plate right now. So we'll try and find that out so we can pass it along to everybody else. So, yeah, we'll see on that. Actually, we'll go ahead and take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll come back, and then we'll have some more details here from Russ Bolin in just a moment on 541radio.com and on the Score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you can be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be, handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Well, folks, we heard officially from Athletic Director Russ Bolin that, yes, tonight's game has been postponed. They are going to try and make this one up tomorrow. So no game for Roseburg football tonight here on The Score. And here is a look at what we are dealing with for tomorrow. So tomorrow, if the smoke lets up and Roseburg is playable, they will play here at Roseburg at 3 o'clock tomorrow. If the smoke does not clear out of the area in time for that to be played tomorrow, they will play in Salem at 2 o'clock. So I know that is not what they were hoping for and not what you, the fans, were hoping for, but the options for tomorrow, Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff for Roseburg here in Roseburg, if the weather allows, if the smoke allows. If it doesn't, they'll try to play in Salem at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and they will be making that decision in the morning. I heard 8 a.m. was announced, but Russ just told me they'd make that decision in the morning. So not sure if we'll hear exactly at 8 o'clock, but I'm sure it'll probably be around there because that's a lot of preparations to make to head up to Salem if that's the case. So that's what we know. Stay tuned. We'll definitely update you on the 541 Radio app, on our Facebook page, on our website, 541radio.com, on our Twitter account, on Instagram. We'll just try and get it out there, blast it everywhere we can on what tomorrow's plan is. We also have to consider that Oregon State football is scheduled to start at 4 o'clock on the radio, so tomorrow might be a video-only broadcast of the game. Before we sign off tonight, let's run through our sponsors here. Want to make sure we give everybody a little bit of love. Tonight's game brought to you by Roseburg Honda. Buying a car can be a hassle, but at Roseburg Honda, it's different. Customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit Roseburg Honda, where they treat you like family because they are family. Barnes Heating and Cooling, another sponsor of Roseburg High Sports, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. By Chuck Swarm and Family Auto Repair, are you ready to go where life takes you? By Western Oregon Jewelers. And by Dr. Alanson Randall, The dentist is accepting new patients, so give them a call at 541-378-6694. Also want to say thanks to Mountain Mike's Pizza, providing pizza up here in the booth for us tonight and providing your Player of the Game award each game throughout the season for Roseburg. So that is pretty much going to do it for us here tonight, folks. We're going to wrap it up early. Roseburg and South Salem postponed till Saturday. It'll either be at 3 o'clock here in Roseburg or 2 o'clock in Salem, and we'll do our best to update you on all of that as early as possible in the day. For Carter Stedman, I'm Joey Kieran. A big thanks to everybody for tuning in for tonight's broadcast. Want to say thanks to Dale Cranford back in the studio for running the radio production for us here tonight. And want to say thanks to Carter Stedman for helping out fill some airtime. And he was going to run the camera for us here tonight. Fortunately, we didn't really get to do a whole lot when it comes. We just got to sit here and talk. That's not too bad either. And as always, thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. At this point, everybody knows the game's not happening. We might just be sitting here talking to ourselves. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk to you tomorrow. We'll keep you updated at 541radio.com, on the 541 Radio app, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So check it all out there to find out what's going on with Roseburg football. Have a great rest of your Friday night, everybody. This has been Roseburg football on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.